Hello and welcome to Newsline. This is the second to the last Sunday of the year 2018. I'm Elizabeth Omori. In less than 48 hours, Christians in Nigeria will join the rest of the world to celebrate one of the most celebrated festivals in Christendom, talking about the birth of Jesus Christ. Well, Newsline tonight will examine the significance of Christmas. It is good to reach out to the less privileged, and Christmas period is usually the time. Of course, corporate and social events are not left out on our lineup tonight. All this for you after the news with Claire Adelabu Abdurazak in Abuja. Hello, Claire.
But thank you for reminding me that it's the last Sunday, of course, in 2018, indeed. Well, let's begin with the trader money scheme. Nigerians have been urged to keep faith with President Muhammadu Buhari administration's efforts in repositioning the country for rapid development. Now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo made a plea in 2 towns in Oyo State while engaging the traders and artisans on the federal government empowerment scheme. Lanre has the details.
The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, was at Oyo and Insane to meet with artisans and traders, where he promised them that the federal government will continue to expand the scope of its initiative, Trader Money, to empower more Nigerians at the grassroots.
The federal government will not relent in fighting corruption. That has been a bane of the socio-economic life of the country. And the federal government will lay a solid foundation that will bring about rapid development.
Professor Yemi Osinbajo also paid homage to the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III, and the Aseyin of Iseyin land, Oba Abdulganiyu Adekunle Salao, where he seeks for the continued support of the people. He enjoined the people of Oyo State not to relent in their support for the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. The royal fathers promised not to disappoint the president in his effort in repositioning the nation for rapid development. The governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi, described the visit of the vice president as a means to consolidate on government's effort in developing the grassroots.
Coming himself to come and canvass, to come and tell people what we have done, what we are going to do, really gives hope to the masses.
We empower them to be able to increase their business.
From Iseyin Town, Lanre Belayi, NTA News.
Thank you, Larry. Did I just say last Sunday in 2018? Never mind me. I guess I want the year to end fast. Last Sunday before Christmas, it should be. Let's move on now to education, where the Minister of Education, Adamu, says the federal government is committed to the welfare of its students both at home and abroad in terms of meeting their financial obligations. The minister was speaking to the media on a number of issues relating to various scholarship schemes. He said government has offered over 20 scholarships under the bilateral education agreement for students of different countries to study in Nigeria. The minister says a total of 2,000 students are on federal government scholarship in various tertiary institutions in Nigeria, while close to 3,000 are currently on various scholarships in foreign countries.
Since the beginning of this government, we have spent about 3 billion funding the students. That is doing our obligation under the agreements on those scholarships. This is inclusive of 800 million naira so far spent in the 2018-2019 academic session.
Adamu says henceforth all scholarship schemes, whether public or private, must be registered with the Federal Government Scholarship Board. This, it says, is to avoid duplication of efforts and multiple scholarship at the expense of others. And the World Bank says it will not abandon or leave any uncompleted project under its agriculture support program here in Nigeria. Now, this is coming as the Fadama 3 additional financing comes to an end. Musa Baba Aliu tells us more.
The presence of World Bank in Nigeria has been years of providing extension services and support to farmers across the country. During this period, inputs, Rural roads and markets were also provided to farmers. As the intervention program comes to an end, key players in agriculture and the World Bank officials are here assessing the impact of the program in the northern parts of the country.
Project will be closing next year. So this time the emphasis will be on how to complete all our ongoing projects so that by the time we close shop, there won't be any abandoned projects. We also put emphasis on how to sustain even the projects that are on the ground beyond the project life.
Padama has done a very good work in Kano State.
The meeting is at the instance of the Kano State government, a major beneficiary of the World Bank program.
Kano State government will continue to fulfill its legal and financial requirements of Adama 3 additional financing in view of the importance of the project and the successes it has recorded.
The World Bank Special Food Support Program in 6 states of the northern Nigeria is also analyzed. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And Nigeria has validated her National Forest Reference Emissions Level, FREL, which is a benchmark for the UN to access a country's performance in the implementation of efforts to reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation. Now, this is coming after a review and adoption of the draft National FREL report for the country prior to its eventual submission to the UN for technical assessment. Here is Justin Bem-Oye with the rest of the story.
A forest reference emission level, FREL, is one of the 4 elements a country is required to develop in order to participate in Red Cross under the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. And Red Cross stands for countries' efforts to reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation and foster conservation, sustainable management of forests and enhancement of forest carbon stocks. Now, considering the 3.7% deforestation rate in Nigeria, which experts say is alarming and must be put in checks, the federal government believes the national FREL comes in very handy for the country to gauge its performance, not only in implementing Red Cross, but also in meeting its commitment to the Nationally Determined Contributions, NDC.
The sooner the later, within the context of the international climate negotiations of the UNFCCC, Nigeria will begin to benefit from the potentially emerging performance-based system from Red Plus.
We understand that population is a problem, but we can manage population side by side with the way the forests are.
The validated National FREL document is scheduled to be submitted to the UNFCCC in January 2019. In Abuja, Justin Bem-Oye, NTA News.
And ahead of the 2019 general elections, a coalition of political groups in Kaduna State has declared its support for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Nasir Ahmed Rufai. Suleiman Abdullahi Rikachinkum reports.
The successes recorded in the fight against corruption, insecurity, infrastructural development, job creation, improvement in agricultural production, investment promotion, and the various social intervention programs by the Buhari administration are among the reasons the group says the administration deserves another term. The group calls on stakeholders, including spiritual leaders and civil society organizations, to work towards ensuring a peaceful conduct of the 2019 general elections. Governor Nasir Ahmed Rufai thanked the group for standing behind APC and supporting President Muhammadu Buhari, adding that more will be done to take Nigeria to the next level. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta has dismissed 3 of her personnel from service over theft of equipment from Meika Jetty in Delta State. The commander, Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta, Commander Ibrahim Dewu, says after thorough investigations, the personnel faced court-martial.
Sometimes in June, some of our personnel were deployed in a jetty, Meika Jetty, to keep duty. Were caught stealing some of the equipment in that jetty. Now, when the report was made to the base and they were arrested, both with them and the civilians that were involved. A thorough investigation was carried out. After the investigation, a court-martial was recommended, and these 3 personnel from NS Delta were court-martialed. The sentence that was given after the court-martial, that we are carrying out the naval procedure for a dismissal, and we are going to send them to prison.
The Nigerian Navy says it remains committed to her primary responsibility of protecting the nation's waters and will not condone any form of criminality from her personnel, as anyone caught will face the full wrath of the law. And it's time now for sports, and the first edition of the Rivers Governors Badminton Championship ends in Port Harcourt, while people of Edo State express happiness to host the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. We have more details from Gift George.
Anu Oluwakbo Okpeori defeated his doubles partner Godwin Olufowa 2-0, 22-20, 21-17 in the final of the men's category to emerge champion, while Dorcas Adeshokon beat Deborah Oke 2-1, 21-14, 18-21, 21-17 in the women's category. In the mixed doubles, the pair of Enojo Abba and Peace Orji beat Yonusu Momo and Yamatu Yakubu 2-0 to pick up the top prize, while Jimka Ifrayemu and Ola Fagbemi beat Clement Koropagbo and Isaac Minafi 2-1 in the men's doubles final.
It's a great area in which you can develop young people, develop their minds, develop their bodies, develop their strength, give them awareness of themselves.
Port Harcourt will be hosting Africa in April 2019. The first time in 19 years. Didn't just want to go into this African Championship without having a kind of test run.
The winners went home with cash prizes and awards. From Benin, Eugene Ndubisi reports that sports administrators and residents of Edo State are ecstatic as they look forward to 2020, when the state will throw our doors open to host the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. They give assurance that nothing will be spared towards making the event a huge success, stressing that it will enhance the social and economy of the state.
There is enough on ground which we are in the process of improving on.
2020 will boost our economy, one. Then the citizens, the indigenes of Edo will also be participating.
It's going to bring more improvements and job opportunities.
Egbumedia Stadium is undergoing refurbishment in preparation for the National Sports Festival. The President General of the Nigerian Football Supporters Club, Rafiu Ladipo, has presented a World Cup replica to the winner of the Predict and win of the 2018 World Cup promo at the office of the club in Lagos.
We want to seek sponsorship, promote sports.
This is an innovation from the Nigerian Football Supporters Club aimed at developing the game of football in Nigeria. With sports update, Gifts George, NTA News.
And we look forward to the 20th edition of the Sports Festival. And on a very sober note now, Executive Director News, Nigerian Television Authority, Mohammed Labo, has been receiving sympathizers in Kaduna over the death of his mother, Hajia Hadiza Labo. Again, Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachenko tells us more.
Among the early callers to sympathize with the Executive Director are a delegation of the NTA management. Executive Director Marketing Abdulhamid Dembos represented the Director General Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad.
We condole with them. We also pray that God will forgive our sins and also grant the family of the deceased the fortitude to bear the loss.
Aged 82, Hajia Hadiza Labo died in Kaduna Sunday morning after a brief illness. She is survived by her 83-year-old husband, children and grandchildren.
After staying together for 60 years, it is really a big loss. So we pray God to give her eternal rest.
She's a mother to not only immediate family, but everybody around her. Whenever you get to her with your problems, she listens to you.
The only thing we said, we pray to Allah to grant her eternal rest.
Described by many as a caring mother, Hajia Hadiza has been buried according to Islamic injunction. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikung, NTA News.
And we have just enough time to check on Monday's weather details across the country.
Hello and welcome to the weather forecast for Monday.
The country has been under consecutive days of dust spell in the last 7 days, and current observations show that this current trend is likely to continue in the coming days. And for how this is going to affect our activities on Monday, we expect thick dust days to affect the northern part of the country in the early hours of the day, while some visibility improvement is expected in the afternoon. We anticipate moderate dust days condition along the central state and its adjoining cities with visibility reduced to about 2 to 5 kilometers. We also anticipate some moderate dust days condition over the southern inland and their coast, although there are chances of mist and fog patches in the early hours of the day. And that's where we'll leave you for the weather forecast. I'm Olubedi Damola, and thank you for watching.
And that's the news. Lisbeth, who puts me on a fast-forward note to 2019, will be back shortly with the rest of Newsline. Don't go away.